Welcome in for another edition of On the Tee. I'm Anita Marks, and my partners in crime are standing by. Let's bring them on. John Mascari, head pro at Alpine Country Club.
What's up?
With the hat. You look like Payne Stewart. What's up, man?
Oh, how are you? How are you?
I got a new do. I cut off a lot. It's straight right now, but I'll be curly again tomorrow. But
right.
But yeah, I was, we're summer's around the corner, golf season's around the corner. I felt like I wanted to do something different. So
get up out of bed look. Okay.
That's not
I'm just kidding. Come on.
Wow, John. Wow. Anyway,
welcome back, everyone.
Yeah. Well, let's just shut you up and let's bring in Christina Thompson from Golf for Her. And she's
wow.
She's got her master balloons. I love it. You're adorable. You are the best. You are the best. So it is. Can you believe it? Like somebody pinched me. It is Masters Week. I feel like, time has flown by. Well, actually it hasn't, because the last time that they played the Masters was in November. And so now it's April. So, yeah, this is kind of weird. And we're going to dive into the difference of playing the Masters in November compared to April and all of that. We're going to get into it. And also we've got a very special guest who's going to be joining us. Mike Adams is going to be joining us, Director of Instruction at Medalist, Fiddlers Elbow as well. He's one of, if the not best teachers, instructors out there. And we're blessed because you, as we all know, you need your A game to win at Augusta. And so we always like having Mike Adams on with us the week leading into Augusta to help us break it down. He's going to be joining us in about 10 minutes. So excited to have him on. As always, we start the show. We need our show drink. Christina, what you got, mama?
How pretty is this?
It's very pretty.
So, in honor of the Masters, of course, we have to have this signature drink of the Masters in the Augusta. It is the Azalea cocktail.
Woohoo!
It is actually, I made quite a large one. I use my little Masters cup here, but it's a combination of gin, lime. I like lemon juice, little pineapple juice, and a splash of grenadine, although I think I went overboard in my grenadine on here. But anyway, really fun drink to make. So when you're watching the Masters this week, you're kicking back, because I'm assuming everyone is going to be tuned in for 4 days. You're going to need an adult beverage. Make this drink. I would suggest making it in like a pitcher, not just a glass. And just
a pitcher.
Just keep pouring it, because it is so good, and you'll feel like you're in Augusta at Augusta, even if you're in like the Northeast or somewhere. But it's a super fun drink to make. I actually put an entire Masters menu together. It's on the Golf for Her website. So if you're having a party or want to really celebrate the Masters, go check it out. There's like 7 of like the most signature recipes, from like the egg salad, pimento and cheese sandwiches. Go for it.
So Sunday for sure. I'm on ESPN Radio on Sunday mornings. I'm definitely gonna do like an egg salad sandwich in the morning, and then probably like afternoon, maybe like when when the lead group makes the turn right on 10, I'll pull out the pimento, the cheese sandwiches.
I love it.
I know. I can't wait. I just, again, somebody pinched me. I can't believe that it's Masters Week. It's really exciting. What are you doing? What are you doing? What is that?
I got the yellow glove out, the G4 yellow glove. I can't listen. I don't have the budget for fucking balloons, so I had to look at the drink I made. I bust your guys' stones all the time for making these cocktails that are all. You got to have a degree in mixology to make them.
It's lovely.
I mean, it looks like I stabbed my lemon with a spoon, but
yeah, really. What did you make?
I made the same drink as.
Oh, you did. Oh,
cheers! Let me get a toast. Cheers!
And here I am being all bougie with wine and shit. Okay, all right.
It's very good.
We've got an exciting announcement we're going to make towards the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. Little woo-hoo, okay? As well as our questions. We answer questions at the end of the show, so please post your questions on your message board. If you've got any questions for me, Christina, or John, we're happy to answer them at the end of the show. As always, we look back before we look forward. Let's just take a second and talk about the Valero. Jordan Spieth wins at 18 under. Hoffman comes in behind him at 16 under. Wallace at 14 under. Not going to lie, going into Sunday, I had all my money on Wallace. I thought for sure Jordan Spieth was going to wet the bed because it's typically what he does on Sundays. The last time that he shot in the 60s on a Sunday round has been when he's in contention to win has been quite a while. So my question to all of us is this performance with Jordan Spieth at the Valero, are we sold now? Are we sold on Jordan Spieth now after the performance we saw, especially on Sunday? John, let's start with you.
Yeah, you touched on it, Anita. 66 in the final round on Sunday was fantastic. This is Jordan getting the monkey off his back right here, for
thank you for the visualization, John.
The monkey off the back. So 83 straight events without a victory. I think I saw it was over 1,300 days. Listen, I'm high on Jordan. I think he needed this shot in the arm. He's getting hot at a perfect time. It certainly helped him to win in San Antonio in his home state of Texas. I think he felt comfortable on the golf course, and I think he's ready to perform real well this coming weekend.
Christina, did it do it for you?
Well, a few weeks ago, I think I jumped in and said I was jumping on the Spieth train. I knew I had a feeling. Honestly, just been watching him. He was steadily creeping up the leaderboard. He's had some really good starts this season. So I am not surprised that he finally got a win and, stopped the drought. But, I know we're going to get into it a little bit later, but I'm not on this. I think he's going to perform well at the Masters. He always does. He's had some really great finishes, especially, he's won it. He's had great finishes the year before and after. He hasn't had great finishes in the past, but I don't know. I'll fill you in later on if I think he's going to win, but right now I'm not.
So you're not sold yet. You know what? I'm not either. Which, by the way, his Masters odds have dropped because of him winning the Valero. Yeah. He was 60-1 prior to him winning on Sunday. His Masters odds now have dropped 10-1.
Not surprised.
10-1 for Jordan Spieth to win the Oscars. To the Oscars to win to win.
It will be a performance if he does win.
What the fuck? What was that? To win the Masters. So, but without further ado, we've got our very special guest who's going to be joining us now, and that is Mike Adams. Let's all bow. Director of Instruction at Medalist in Fiddlers Elbow as well, and is always so kind to join us. Hi, Mike.
I think he's on mute. He's on mute still, I think. Oh, there he goes.
There he is.
He's always so kind to join us each and every time for our show. Mike, welcome in. How are you? It's Masters week, man.
Mike!
You're free. You're free.
Mike, you're killing me. All right, he's coming back.
All right.
Mike's on the dial-up modem, apparently.
Listen, he can.
Let's do this in the meantime while we get. Those are your sound effects, dude? Is that really?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Brett, if you can you put up the FedEx Cup standings now? After the Valero, where everything. There we go. Thank you.
Still on top. Getting close though.
There we go. DeChambeau still at the top. Justin Thomas, of course. Cantlay, Hovland. X-Man is up there as well. I'm just curious. Do you just have 1 through 5? Were you able to put up 10, or did we just get 1 through 5? We may have just gotten 1 through 5. So DeChambeau is still at the top.
Yeah.
It's getting a little crowded up there, though.
It is.
Yeah, but let's be honest. But that's what's going to make it more fun, right? With the last three tournaments, to win the season. So I'm glad that it's getting tight up there.
Yeah, I'm really going to be focusing on DeChambeau this weekend. I just want to see what will happen with him.
And again, just to focus on the FedEx Cup standings, a lot of times what we see, guys, is if who's ever number one, if he's like got an exponential amount of points above everyone else, a lot of times he'll take one of the 3 tournaments off.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he's like, I can afford to take this off. It's not going to affect my point standing. So I like that. I like that there's some parity here. I like that there's some competitiveness towards the top of the FedEx standings. We haven't seen this in a while. And this is something I wrote. I submitted my chalk column for ESPN today. You'll be able to see it on ESPN.com tomorrow. I was on Daily Wager today and was talking about the Masters, obviously, but this season, this season has been very, very difficult to pick winners this season. I feel like, there'll be a tournament where a golfer just wets the bed, doesn't even make the cut, and then will show up to the next tournament and just crush the field. Like I feel like there's a lot of inconsistency this season in golf, and I don't know why that is, but so therefore, obviously we pick winners based on performance and statistics, right? Like strokes gained in the last 24 rounds or strokes gained in the last 50 rounds. And there's so much inconsistency that I'm finding it's very hard to pick win. Are you seeing that? Are you finding the inconsistency being a little frustrating this season?
Yeah, I think the inconsistency really comes from the season just being inconsistent in general. I think these guys are creatures of habit. They tend to know how their schedule goes, and anytime you throw them a curveball, or they're changing venues, or they're they got no fans, and this is that, and we're moving the tournament from here to there. Sometimes the guys that are not mentally strong get thrown for a little bit of a loop. But I think you made a great point, Anita, about people missing the cut and then coming back the next week real strong. Is they've got some time to figure it out. Okay, so they missed the cut. They're going right to the range. These guys are unbelievable athletes, obviously, and they'll figure it out with a little tweak here or there, and then they're right back in the driver's seat. So certainly, it's the parity on the PGA Tour is phenomenal. It seems like there's a new winner every week, or someone on the top of the leaderboard every week. So I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, I think a lot of it has to do with, just even picking our picks every week. You really have to kind of go deep on some of this because the field is really talented right now. And I think these are some of the best golfers we've seen in recent years. So I think also there's a lot of players that are putting a little extra pressure. I mean, obviously we talk about DeChambeau all the time. Every interview they talk about DeChambeau and the way he's playing and how he's changing how other players like Rory, he's getting into their head a little bit. So I think that has a lot to do with it. Everyone's trying to step up their game while being true to the integrity of their own game. So I think there's a lot of figuring out right now. But like I said, I think there's some really shining stars that are coming up and making headlines. So
let's try to bring back Mike. Hopefully he's a better connection. We'll see. I mean, listen, these things happen. So Mike, do we have you? Can you hear us?
Hello, everyone.
We can see.
Hi.
There he is.
There.
I cannot hear anything.
Oh no. I learned sign language when I was in college. Should I sign?
I'm Italian, so I can do sign language somewhat with my hands.
Mike. Okay.
Technical problems with Mike.
Well,
hey, listen, he's the best teacher out there. Can't be perfect.
All right.
All
right. Let's dive right in. Let's dive right into it, and let's start with the number one question, and that is, who do you have winning this damn thing this week? So John, let's start with you.
I have Sung J M as the winner of the 2021 Masters. I think
sweet on him.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I think he's good. He performed real well in November. I think he's someone who is not afraid of the spotlight. He plays in the most golf of anyone on the tour. He's having a fantastic season. He had the most birdies in the event last year with 24. I just think he's primed and ready to go. I was high on him all season. I put some future bets on him to win a major this year. And I think he's ready to go. One of the best ball strikers on the tour. They call him the machine, the Iron Byron, for a reason, because every swing is the same. And I really think I'm expecting some high stuff from him. So there's my winner. Sung Jae with the green. I don't know how to say green in Korean, but.
I came across a really interesting article online this week, and pretty much what it did is it took a lot of the trends that are out there, like in regard to who wins for the past 10 years at Augusta, and because of the trends, it would eliminate certain players. And the only player left standing was Im in this article for a number of reasons. He checks all the boxes that trend for the winners each year at Augusta. Not too old, yet not too young. Ranked in the top 20. Has had previous success on this track. Has shined on the Florida swing. Obviously, it's coming in hot. Coming in hot, no pun intended. And his putting has been on point. He's ranked 30th on tour this season, and putting, of course, as we know, we talked about a little bit earlier, is going to be a huge thing. So I have money on him to finish in the top 10, and you can get that at plus 133, by the way, top 20 plus 138. And also you can wager that he will be the best Asian that will finish this week, and that's at plus 138 as well. So I do have money on him. Christina, let's go to you. Who do you have winning the Masters this week?
Brace yourself here, people. Brace yourself. I think the winner is going to be someone who has played this course in the past, has a proven record of making cuts, and has been improving each time he plays Augusta, which is why I am picking Justin Thomas as my pick for Masters champ. He has made the cut all 5 times that he's traveled down Magnolia Lane. He's finished 39th, then 22nd, then 17th, and then 12th, and then last in November, 4th. He is going in the right direction. He has put together 7 straight rounds under par, dating back to, 2019. Like, he just has everything that a winner at Augusta needs to have, and he has all the right moves. So I'm going with JT.
Okay. Listen, not mad at you for that. In fact, I've got JT finishing in the top 5. As we know, he had a rough start to the season, but he's turned it around.
Yep.
He finished 4th back here in November.
Yep.
And John, can you comment on this? I was reading Augusta favors right to left ball flight. Why is that? Obviously, that is JT's wheelhouse, but why is that? What is it about the course that favors right to left ball flight?
Yeah, just the way that the course was designed. The fairways are dog legs left, so they shape the shot real well that way. Alistair McKenzie just designed the course that way. A lot of the way the hills on the golf course. One of the things you don't realize on TV, and Christina, have you been to Augusta before?
No, I have not.
I don't think you've been there either, but I've been there a few times, and you don't understand the elevation changes on television unless you're there in person. So hitting a lot of the landing spots, and you're really, when you're able to draw the ball around corners, that right to left ball flight, you're really maximizing the terrain and the way the hills will carry the ball 20, 30, 40, 50 yards down the fairway. So listen, these guys can hit the ball any way they want to, left, right, left. But for a natural ball flight, it sets up to their eye real well.
Yeah.
So again, I've got him finishing in the top 5. Metrics: 3rd in strokes gained on approach, 1st in par 4 scoring birdie or better, and 10th in par 5 scoring birdie or better this season. And those are 2 really crucial metrics to pay attention to. Okay, 3rd time's a charm. Let's hope. We're gonna try with Mike Adams one more time. Mike, do we have you, Mike?
Mike's in a dark room right now.
Mike, do we have you? Can you hear us?
Anticipation.
Mike's got a flip phone, I think.
Mike, do we have you? Okay.
Mike,
right.
you have to charge your BlackBerry.
We tried 3 times.
We'll get him on again. He's a good friend of the show.
Guys, I am working my ass off right now to get this going.
Can we fly Mike up to Queens?
I'm gonna get him back on the phone. He's on his cell phone, right? And I want to see if I can coax him to get on a computer.
He's such a special treat.
His internet connection is not great, but we're gonna keep trying. You guys keep doing a hell of a job on the show, and I will continue to try to get Mike back. If not, maybe next time.
All right. Sounds good, Brett. Right. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. All right. So what was that?
You can't comment on all of the sound clips. It's applause. For Brett. He's phenomenal. He glue the whole show together.
It didn't even sound like applause, though. I wouldn't have.
What
had
did it
to
sound
ask.
like? Like ripping paper?
Ice. You had like a blender going or something.
I know it sounded like a blender. I thought maybe you were making another drink. It didn't
Maybe
sound like
I do.
applause. Maybe you do.
If I
so
was
John-
making another drink, I would put my glove on, of course.
Oh my. Here we go.
So John has M. Christina has JT. I'm going with. Do you have a drum roll on your stupid sound machine? Do you have a?
No, I don't.
Okay. Go
I'm
ahead.
going DeChambeau, baby.
Oh my! You might as well just take your money. You're here.
Yeah. Can you just Venmo me the money right now?
There you go.
Follow me here. Stop it. Stop
Just
it.
put it in a bowl and light it on fire. Put your money in a big pot.
This is
Pour
why.
lighter fluid on it and
Hey.
then set it on fire.
Hey, stop it. This is why. Again, I am focusing on dudes who putt well. Because this tournament is going to be about who can putt and who cannot. Now, prior to this, you guys know I was leaning towards Morikawa. You know, I love me some Morikawa. He's ranked 181st on tour and putting. Like, for him to miss the cut is 4-1. I might even put money down that Colin Morikawa might miss the cut. I know it sounds crazy because prior to what we're hearing from a lot of the guys that are there already is that even Kevin Kisner, he said these greens are he called them spicy.
Spicy.
He called the greens spicy. And listen, there's just a lot of metrics here with, number one, there's just a lot of metrics when it comes to DeChambeau. I think he learned his lesson last November, okay, in how to play this course. Number one in driving distance. Number one in par 5 scoring, birdie or better. One of the best putters on tour. I just think that the metrics that are really going to matter this week and this weekend, he has. And again, I think he learned his lesson. If there was a lesson to learn, I think there was back in November, even though the course is going to play much different. And John, I want you to touch on that, the difference of how this course is going to play now in April as opposed to November. But yeah, I'm rolling in top 5. Here's another top 5 on firm and fast bent grass in his last 24 rounds. So again, I'm going with DeChambeau, and it's more than just the fact that the dude can crush it. A lot of it has to do with his putter. Whoever's going to win this tournament is going to have a phenomenal 4 days of putting. Period.
Can he pull this together? Go ahead, John. I was gonna say, can he pull this all together at Augusta? Because he's never finished better than 29th there.
So here's my concern with DeChambeau. Great putter, yes. He's 170th on the tour inside of 125 yards. So it's great to be on the dance floor, but you got to be able to hear the music, if you know what I mean. So these greens are not like any other greens, and we'll talk about it later, that they're firm and fast. He's got to be able to hit it close. So hitting it far is fantastic. And listen, let's be honest, he's been struggling a little bit off the tee also. But to be 170th on the tour in 125 yards in, that gives me a little bit of pause, especially at Augusta.
All right. Guys, I'm sorry. We're gonna fourth time's a charm. We're gonna try to bring Mike Adams back in.
5-1, it doesn't work. 5-1.
Stop it, Mike.
Oh, it's me.
And it's Brett.
Hold on. I got Mike.
Holy shit, Mike, you got hair.
I got Mike right here. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
Mike,
Mike,
can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, there he is.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's go.
Mike,
All right, guys, have fun.
Mike, thank you, Brett. Appreciate you. Mike, this
Son
is so
of a
great.
bitch.
Director of Instruction at Medalist as well as Fiddler's Elbow. Mike, welcome in. Excited that you're with us. It's Masters Week. Share with us. We've all just been talking about who we have winning this. I've got DeChambeau. John has M. Christina has JT. Who are you looking to win it this week?
Christina, you made a good choice. JT's going to win it.
Whoa!
You heard it right here.
Yeah, that's it. Make our head even bigger, Mike. Come on.
No, I see JT every day. He's a member at Medalist, as is most of those guys. And JT is hitting it great. Rory is hitting it horrible. And Jordan Spieth is doing it with mirrors. If you look at his stats in 2018, 19, and 20, he hit the same number of greens and the same percentage of fairways. He's hitting right around 50% of the fairways and 58% of the greens. Exactly what he did. He's been doing this whole time during this thing. He just happens to be playing well on courses where everybody misses greens. And he's doing it with the wedge and putter. I love Jordan. I want him to play well. I'm excited that he won. He's not going to win Augusta.
Well, also, it's very, I mean, you know, it's hard to win back-to-back weeks, let alone the tail end of your back-to-back happens to be a major. I mean, the mental aspect of having to be on point and in the zone has to be really taxing, I would imagine.
See, the reason Tiger won at Augusta 2 years ago when he won, it was funny because he's a member at Medalist too. And he says, Mikey, I'm going to bring home a new green jacket. And I said, awesome. And he says, if I get close to the lead on number 12, I win. I said, why do you say that? He says, because those guys' ego won't allow them to hit wedge in the middle of the green. They're going to go for that flag and they're going to hit it in water. And they did that, all the four guys that were in front of him.
He called it.
But see, what you have to understand about Augusta is certain players don't have to hit it good there. They just have to manage themselves well. Tiger, Jordan, Nicklaus, and Spieth will be close but not win it. You're going to see Paul Casey tease us for 3 days, and then he's going to back out. Sergio's going to tease us for about 50 holes, and as will Adam Scott, and then all of a sudden the putter will quit working. But I think it's going to be JT's year. I mean, JT's going to play well. I think that Patrick Cantley's going to surprise some people because Patrick plays great there, loves the golf course, and is hitting it unbelievable, and puts great on fast greens. So, and you can't sell Dustin Johnson short. He plays the golf course great. And even though he cuts the ball, which is not ideal for Augusta, although Nicklaus won there cutting the ball, as did Tiger, he's long enough and he's not afraid.
Hold on, Mike. I'm trying to write all this down. You're speaking. I'm just writing all these bets down.
Why do you think Bryson's got a chance to win?
I don't. I don't think he has a chance to win. This was going to be my question to you, Mike. Right.
Well, I mean, really, so I'm the one who picked Bryson. I think because everything that I'm hearing right now is that the folks down in Augusta were really pissed off that DJ finished in November at 20 under. So from what I understand, they're making these greens more difficult than ever. So I'm looking at guys that just can putt their ass off. And DeChambeau is one of those guys. On top of that, he's got the driving distance. On top of that, number one in par 5 scoring, birdies are better. I'm looking at the metrics and the metrics that are out there that I feel that are going to be needed to win this weekend. His name keeps on popping up. That's why I'm going DeChambeau.
He's going to try to cut some corners that you can't cut. He's going to try to hit it over the trees on 2, and he's going to bang it around in there, and he's going to make 17 on that hole.
Don't you feel he learned? Don't you feel he learned his lesson in November when he tried to do all that crap?
No, Bryson.
No,
Bryson. I mean, I've known Bryson since he was a kid, and Bryson doesn't think that way. He thinks he's invincible. I mean, he almost won the Masters as an amateur. His last year was an amateur, and then he turned around and he won Harbortown. I mean, Bryson knows how to play golf out there, but Bryson, he's stubborn. He's going to do it his way and try to overpower the golf course. The reason he won the Open is because it was a golf course that nobody could even hit an iron in play. So he hit drivers far down there as he could, and he could hit a wedge out of the rough a lot easier than they could hit hybrids out of the rough.
Hey, Mike, one of the players that we really haven't talked much about, and for obvious reasons, is Brooks Koepka. And, he's coming off his knee injury. I don't know what kind of Brooks we're going to get this weekend. Are we going to get the one who struggled for the most of last year? Or is it going to be the guy that won in Phoenix in February and finished second at the WGC? I'm like rolling the dice with Koepka now. What do you think?
Well, Koepka, he doesn't have to hit it good. Koepka's a great manager of the game, phenomenal wedge player, great putter, and he hits it far. Brooks will play well there. I mean, only because he's not going to choke, and if he's healthy enough to walk 18 holes, that's what he said. If I can walk 18 holes in the practice round, I'm going to play. He did everything he could to get himself ready to play.
I think he's sandbagging. I think he's telling.
He actually had surgery.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know he had the surgery, but he's Superman. The guy just comes out. He's just, he's been practicing on his game. I was watching him earlier, and I think he's trying to lay low, but I think he's going to play really well. I agree. I think he's going to come out and perform really well at the Masters. Now, Mike, I have a question for you about a player who this show really loves to root for, which is Tony Finau.
Yes, we do.
And honestly, I want to believe he can deliver us some really good golf this weekend. He's had 3 runners up and a 4th place finish, through these 8 events this season. But it's almost like he's cursed by being too good, but never good enough to convert it to a win. So, I want to root for him. He's someone who you just want to root for. But what's going on with him? Any thoughts on what's happening in here?
Well, Tony's a phenomenal player. The big problem with Tony is when he has to hit the shot under the gun, the most important shot, he doesn't hit it.
Yeah.
Once he figures that out, Tony's going to win multiple times. But, if you look at it, Tony's in position to win almost every week when he's playing, but he backs out and finds a way not to win. There's a lot of guys out there that are like that. Winning on tour is really hard.
Yeah.
That's why I'm on this side instead of the other side. I mean, I got tired of being one of the leading money spenders out there, but Tony Finau is a great player. He'll finish top 10. He's not going to win.
Yeah.
JT is going to win. Cantley's going to give it a run. Xander Schauffele, who hits that nice little draw and can putt the eyes out of it and wedge it, he's going to play great there also.
I have somebody I want to tee up for you, and that's Colin Morikawa, who
he will play great there.
Yeah, but he's horrible at putting.
No, he's really not. He's not. See, horrible is a relative word. When you compare him to Jordan Spieth, he's horrible. But we can't compare him to anyone on the screens.
No, you can't. No, I'm not comparing him to us. I'm just saying he's ranked 181st. That's his ranking in putting.
And what is the difference between 181 and 60th?
Half a stroke, probably.
Huh?
Half a stroke, probably.
He hits it well enough that he can play well. Hovland will do the same thing. Matthew Wolff could play well there because he's got, can I say big balls?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want. This is a digital show.
Okay, he's got big balls. He's not afraid. He hits it far.
Cue up the AC/DC music.
You know what he listens to? He listens to Queen.
Really?
When he practices, he is listening to Queen.
All right.
He said he's out at Medalist. He's got Queen blasted.
I mean, how great. I think he would make the best. He would have the best smile winning with that green jacket on. He would just light it up if he can pull it off. I mean, he just is everyone's.
If he wins it, he'll tear the sleeves off.
I have another guy. And I keep on calling him my guy. Actually, I call him the human ATM when it comes to golf, and that's Willie Zalatoris. This dude's been making me money hand over fist, Mike. This dude's unbelievable. I know he's a debutant, which, by the way, you can wager that he's going to finish as the best debutant this week at plus money. I want to say it's like plus 110 or plus 125, but. This kid, with all due respect, I don't want to call him a kid. This young man is really, really special. Have you had an opportunity to meet him or work with him?
No, I haven't worked with him, but I know Zalatoris. I mean, he played at Wake Forest. The guy that changed his life was Scott Fawcett. He got him understanding how to play the golf course. Will, when he won his first U.S. Junior and started beating everybody, he is not a great putter. He's a great ball striker. He will win the U.S. Open. He's not going to win the Masters.
Okay.
The U.S. Open is a golf course is made for him because nobody puts good there.
You know who I love watching, and I think who I tune in on Thursday to watch is Freddie Couples. He just can come out and he just knows where to put the ball and where not to put the ball. I mean, is that
before or after his 5th Bloody Mary?
I don't even care if it's in the middle while he's drinking his Bloody Mary.
The more Bloody Marys he's had.
Right. No, he'll get better. Right. Exactly.
What's the magic with him? Like, what is it that makes him, like, at his age and be such a he's just there on the weekends, until his back gives out.
He still hits it far. He still wedges it great. He's not afraid. He knows the golf course inside and out. He spent the last 2 weeks playing almost every day with Rory, JT, and Cantley out there at Augusta. Sam Reeves was telling me that he's took those 3 under his wing and he's trying to show him how to win Augusta.
I love it.
Mike, one of the things that you just touched on, and we spoke about it before, was one of the reasons I'm kind of fading on DeChambeau is that I don't think his wedge game is very good of late. I think that's real important at Augusta. I mean, you can be on the greens in certain spots that a 3-putt would be fantastic. So
who's the best wedge player?
Talk to us a little bit about
who's the best wedge player right now? JT.
Right.
Right now,
Christina,
hold on.
He looks better.
Justin Thomas is.
Thank you, Mike, for showing up.
Okay.
JT hits it far. JT hits it left and right. He hits it high. He's one of the best iron players. He's not afraid to win. I think you're going to see JT in the winner's circle.
So really quick, strokes gained on approach this season. All right, up through Valero. Colin Morikawa, number 1, JT 3, Willie Zalatoris 5, DJ 11, Finau 12, Corey Connors 13, DeChambeau 15th, Jordan Spieth 23rd.
Right.
Just FYI.
Uh-huh.
Sounds like a leaderboard.
So who's first and third?
Morikawa
and JT.
And JT.
JT. Yep.
Okay. Now look at driving distance.
Driving distance, DeChambeau 1, Champ 4, Wolf, your guy Wolf, who you say has big balls, 6, DJ 7, Neiman 9, Willie Zalatoris 18.
Mm-hmm. You want to who could win it? Who could be a dark horse is Joaquin Neiman.
Mm.
He is an incredible wedge player.
He's been having a pretty good year. Yeah.
Huh?
He's been having a pretty good year under the radar.
Yeah, finished second 3 times. He beats those guys out of money every week out there at Medalist. He is not afraid to shoot low, hits it far, putts it good, wedges it almost as good as JT. He's a dark horse.
I had my dark horse pick as Corey Connors. What are your thoughts about him?
Corey Connors is a great ball striker, and he's a shitty putter. Excuse my French.
I'm
You can say putter, Mike.
We've said one.
I don't know if I've ever heard Mike curse before.
I love it, Mike. Mike, we could keep you on forever. This is amazing. I'm taking notes as well. But any final thoughts before we let you go? We know that you like JT. Is there going to be a surprise this weekend? Is there what?
I think Joaquin Neiman's going to be a surprise, and I think that Patrick Cantley is going to be a surprise. I agree with you about Will Zalatoris. He'll hit it great. He'll tease us, as will Finau, as will there's going to be some guys teasing us. Sergio will tease us for a while. Adam Scott will tease us for 50 holes, and then the putter will get balky. Can't bet against DJ. You're going to look at JT, DJ, and Cantley. It's going to come down to those 3.
Mm-hmm.
Place your bets, everybody. Place your bets.
I'm curious to see how Rom's going to finish up this week with all the excitement that happened in his life. I mean, he'll show up maybe Sunday afternoon.
He will shoot. He'll play some really good golf. Let him miss one shot, and he is toast.
We have a listener. Oh, it's Christine from Rivervale Country Club. Christine runs Rivervale Country Club, Mike. She keeps the place in such unbelievable condition. She wants to know, what are your thoughts on Billy Horschel?
Billy Horschel's a great player, and he's playing really good. He's peaking at the right time. He'll be close.
It's close, but
All
no
right.
He's
cigar.
not going to win.
He's not going to win.
He's not gonna win it.
Mike, we're so blessed to have you on tonight. Thank you so much. We're sorry for the technical difficulties. It's great that we've had a good 10 minutes with you and your insight. Really, really do appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much. Enjoy the tournament.
You take care. Bye-bye.
You got it. Boy, man, is that
Mike
listen,
live from his closet? It looked like he was in his
like
fucking
I love
closet
him.
there.
that's the dude you want on speed dial on Wednesdays before you start putting in your bets, right? On Wednesday
Listen,
night.
Mike has worked with a lot of tour players, and he'll tell you that he wasn't working with certain people, but he was, and he knows the game inside and out. He's a staple in the golf industry, and we were lucky to have him on.
So he thinks my DeChambeau pick is shit. He
trash.
He loves Christina's pick with JT, Justin Thomas. And he really didn't say much about your pick.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, I know. Listen, you shit on me too. Fuck you, Mike.
He didn't really say
Right,
much
and
about
listen,
it.
Mike's wife Margie is a brunette, so of course he's gonna go with the brunette.
All right, guys. Let's do. Oh wait, let's throw up our DFS lineups and our monkey knife fight and all that good stuff.
You should have put it up when Mike was here. You could have shit on my fucking DFS lineup.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. Well, I didn't want to show him mine because obviously he's going to shit because of the DeChambeau.
Right.
But DeChambeau, Justin Thomas. We didn't ask him about Fitzpatrick. I really like Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Zalatoris, Kim. Wait, that's not mine.
That's your first of. Is that one of your 17 DFS lineups that we're going to?
Yeah,
put
but
up?
that's not my last player.
That
I'll tell you.
What time in the morning did you do that?
I don't know. All right.
How many rosés did you have?
I'll tell you who I have. Okay, so I have 3 lineups that I sent to Brett.
I gotta come in here, all right? Because I put these graphics together. Well, actually, that's not true. Matt Canada, the CEO of Pro Football Network, puts these graphics together. Did I miss one?
So
what am I missing?
All right, so I have 3 DFS lineups.
Yes.
What my first one is Bryson, JT, Fitzpatrick, Willie, Woo Kim, Siwoo Kim, and CT Pan.
That's what I just have on the screen.
No.
Is that not it?
No, the last one isn't CT. It's CT Pan.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. My DFS lineup number 2: Bryson, Cantlay, M, Willie Z, Coke Rock, and CT Pan. And last but not least, my third is Webb Simpson, M, Berger, Cam Smith. We haven't talked about Cam Smith, by the way. I think keep in mind in November he had 4 rounds that were in the 60s. Fitzpatrick as well as Willie Z. So I've got those are my 3.
Can I just jump in for a second? Brett, that is CT Pan. That's his name that you had on the bottom. So you are correct with that. It's you put the P is the the way they flip the Chang Sung is his first name. P is for Pan. Pan Chang Sung is CT Pan.
Right.
So that is the right golfer, just not the way
Right.
Anita expected his name to be.
Right.
Yeah,
so Anita really should apologize to you right now
Oh,
for fucking throwing you on the carpet there.
Oh my. Okay.
I don't know.
Awkward.
That's like Z. Willie or F. Michael or T. Justin or D. Bryson. Like that wouldn't throw you for a loop.
I am not offended. I'm not offended. So,
you should be.
I just feel better that I know I got the right players in, because Anita, what you guys don't know is when we're not on the air, Anita curses me out all the time.
I do not.
Bullies
What are you
me.
talking
It makes
about?
me just in a very
You don't have to put up with that.
environment.
What are you talking
You don't have to
about?
put up with that, Brett.
I don't want her to hurt me. So
Oh my gosh! Stop it! All right,
it
let's
is
put
all
up.
jokes. All
Let's put up John's DFS lineup. Let's see what he's got going on. All right,
Here we
this
go.
down. break this down for us, big guy.
We heard Paul Casey. You know, he's going to be around for at least 3 rounds, according to Mike. I love MJN, as we talked about. I think Patrick Reed's going to have a great tournament. You know, I'm big high on Scotty Scheffler. He's my boy. And you know what? I'm jumping on the Willie ATM boat, Anita. So I throw him in there. And I happen to have a little shekels left, so I threw it on Louis Oosthuizen.
Listen,
Louis is in.
These are guys that always play well. I mean, with the exception of Zalatoris.
At least it's not O.Louis. All I'm saying. All I'm saying is Louis actually is quite good putting, by the way. I came across, did I share this in our last show? I came across an interesting little nugget on Scheffler. Do you guys know that Scheffler was born in North Bergen?
Yeah. Somewhere up in Bergen County. I don't know where.
So he was born in Bergen County. And John, actually, I'd love to hear you comment on this.
Okay.
So his father was Mr. Mom. His father stayed home and took care of all the kids. His mother was the COO of a law firm. And his father got him into golfing. However, the clubs around town would not let young children come and practice and play. So the family picked up all their toys and they moved to Dallas. And so that's why everybody thinks that Scotty Scheffler is from Texas, but he's really not. He's from New Jersey.
Jersey boy.
But the family left New Jersey because golf clubs, I'm sure such as yours, Alpine Country Club, would not allow young kids to come out and play and practice. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, let me first talk about Alpine Country Club as the director of golf at Alpine. I'll try not to curse too much at you right now, but it's a private club, and we love having kids around. We have a robust junior program, and we welcome the kids on the golf course. They're allowed to play and carry their own bag, and that's part of growing our membership for the future. I think the big issue in Bergen County is that there are just so many private clubs. So I grew up playing golf in the mecca of golf, Staten Island, New York. So there's so many golf pros that come out of Staten Island. But I had to grow up and play public golf courses, and the Parks Department ran the New York City golf courses. And if you were a New York City resident, you got a special card, and you could show it at the club. And if you were a junior golfer, you paid half price. So it came out to be like $8 for a round of golf. And that's how I learned how to play the game. My parents would drop me off on the golf course in the morning and pick me up at dark. And I would just keep going around and around and around again until it was dark. And listen, if you really want something and you really think you're good at it and you want to pursue it as a career, you have to make adjustments like that. So his family thought it was real important to him, and they upped the family and moved to Texas, and look how it paid off.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, let's pull up the monkey knife fight. Christina's got some monkey knife fight bets in action right now. What you got, girl?
So right now, the first one, I had to change a little bit right before the show. But anyway, I have Dustin Johnson with less strokes. I'm taking him with less strokes, and DeChambeau with more strokes. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, obviously, I'm down.
Makes a 17.
I'm down for it, obviously, because I've got him winning this whole damn thing. Yeah. So obviously I'm on that.
Yeah. And then I have for the second one, so we've got less strokes total. So I've got DJ over DeChambeau.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got JT over Rahm, which
But why are you switching it up? If you've got more with DeChambeau on one,
more strokes, more strokes. So he's going to shoot a higher score.
Yeah.
Oh,
the whole purpose in golf is to have the lower score. And
really.
So that's why I went with Dustin Johnson on it, saying he's going to have less total strokes than DeChambeau.
Oh, I got it now.
Got it. Okay. And then the same thing with JT. So.
Okay, I really, out of all of these, obviously I don't like your JT over Bryson, but I do like your Justin Thomas over Jon Rahm. I think him having a baby, and it's a lot. I mean,
yeah. His head, I don't think is going to be. I think he's going to play well. I just don't think he's going to. Listen, he's going to do great. He's going to do wonderful. He's going to make the cut. I love the storyline that he comes out and wins a Masters after having a baby, but I think he's gonna have he's got a lot of emotions going on.
You know, there's a study that's going around called the nappy factor. Have you heard about this? Where players, after they become a father, tend to play better.
No way. What's going on with Rory then?
They get like a bump in their performance after being a father. I mean, Rory might be the exception, but
that's an understatement.
Rom just became a dad, and he's got 3 consecutive top 10 finishes at Augusta. Why not?
Look at Christine. Christine from Rivervale Country Club says, "We allow juniors!" Exclamation!
There you go.
Okay, well, you know what? The Schefflers should have known that before they picked up the family and North Bergen is in Hudson County.
Hudson County. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. I said Bergen County. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, really quick, 2 more topics I just want to throw out before I know Christina has an LPG update, and we're going to get to your questions. If you've got questions, make sure you post them on the message board. Guys, no Tiger this week. Feels, it's sad. I mean, of course we know all that has transpired here. The car accident, he's home. He's rehabbing. We're hoping he makes a full recovery, but a little lackluster, right? Like, it just doesn't feel the same that the Tiger's not teeing it up on Thursday.
Yeah. I imagine him sitting home on his sofa by himself, just watching it. Do you think he's going to have like a Masters party?
No, I don't think. I think it's going to be I think it'll be very, very difficult to watch this. I would imagine that I don't think there's going to be any kind of party. I wouldn't be surprised if he can't watch. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, you know what? I can't watch this. I can't watch it.
Yeah. I was watching some of the interviews today on the Golf Channel, and I think it was Rory and JT. They were all, talking how they had visited with Tiger, and they're checking in with him, and obviously they're very close. So I think he's going to watch. I think he'll be watching. I think it's going to be hard for him to watch. I mean, I'm sure I would have a hard time watching, but it's Tiger. Of course he's watching.
John?
Definitely not going to be watching, I don't think, at home.
Yeah, I don't.
I think knowing Tiger, how he is.
Hard.
I mean, if he's watching, he's like in a ball sucking his thumb, crying maybe. That
come on. No, I disagree. Tiger has been giving JT so much advice. I think he's talking to the guys. I mean, listen, he knows where he is in the history of golf. I think he's watching it.
Do you think like he's transforming to be more of like the mentor to these young kids now? He's like
100%, 1,000.
He's the Yoda to Luke Skywalker.
Yes. You will win, my friend. Yes.
One more
the first
thing
thing came to my head. I'm sorry.
One more thing. I read this today. There's a mystery item in DeChambeau's bag that he said, quote unquote, will be helpful. It's been a few years in the making. What?
I know
what is this? What is it? What is this? What do you mean you know what it is? What is it?
It's the flux capacitor from Back to the Future movies. He's got it in his fucking bag. He's going back to when he shit the bed last year in November.
Stop it!
I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is he having. I know he's got a new driver he's working on. It's like 5 degrees aloft. Did you see him on the range the other day with the driver?
Dumb.
Like ball after ball after ball. Like, oh wait, give me another one. Let's boom. He's hitting it. I would love to see where those balls were going. Like they're spraying all over the place.
I like him though. I like this. I love this.
Look, I'm not. This is just a question. I'm not assuming anything. John, do you know how often does the tour test for performance enhancing drugs? I'm just curious. I'm just asking.
I think it's just random.
Random.
I don't know. Yes.
What, they just come up to you while you're on the
they'll take like probably 6 or 7 guys and just be like, all right,
here you go.
You're the random piss. Right.
I know what you do on the LPGA tour.
I said pissed.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
There you go. Bring it back.
I think it's the same as they do on the LPGA tour, which they will after a player finishes a round, after they sign their card, they will come up and say, hey, you just randomly say, hey, go pee in a cup. And it is very random.
Yes. I'm sure it's the same thing for the guys.
Very random. They can't target DeChambeau. He'd be peeing in a cup at the end of every round.
I just want to share with our viewers out there, the first round tee times are out, and I highlighted, obviously the ones that tee off later in the afternoon are the groups that you absolutely don't want to miss. But you've got Day and Wolf and Champ going out together around 9:36. Decky, Harris English, and Answer good old Abe at 9:48. Rory, Rom, and Shoffley are at 10:42. That's a good group right there.
Yeah.
Patrick Reed, Berger, and Casey are at 10:54. So those are your morning groups that you definitely want to keep an eye on. A little bit later on in the afternoon, Horschel, Hatton, and Palmer at 1. Cantlay, M, and Fitzpatrick at 1:24. DeChambeau, Adam Scott, and Max Homa at 1:36. Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, and Louis O at 1:48. And then 2 o'clock is Jordan Spieth, Morikawa, and Cameron Smith. Just FYI, just some of the tee times.
The forecast is supposed to be fantastic. It's going to be like in the low 80s, high 70s, slight chance of rain, but
it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain on Thursday night.
Yeah, soften it up.
So what does that mean for dudes?
Soft.
So what does that mean for dudes who come in Friday morning? So guys who are teeing off Friday morning, are they going to have the advantage, John? Is that what that means?
Yes, definitely. Soft greens at Augusta are a huge advantage. That's what we saw last year in November. We had that rain in the beginning. We had the 3-hour rain delay in November. And when you put a difficult golf course with really soft greens where guys can attack the pin and the ball will stop and there's no runoffs, these guys are the best in the world. That is one of the major reasons why Dustin Johnson had such a great tournament last year. If you're expecting 20 under this year, I really don't think it's going to happen. I think 10 or 12 under wins this tournament.
So guys that are going to be teeing off early in the morning on Friday with a very heavy rain expected on Thursday night. Matt Wallace at 8:45. Kokrak at 9 o'clock. Your guy Fred Couples tees off at 9:15. Maybe that helps him make the cut there, Christina. Horschel, Hatton, and Palmer at 9:45. Cantlay, M, and Fitzpatrick at 10:15. Bryson, Adam Scott, Max Homa at 10:30. Justin Thomas, Tony Finau, Louis O at 10:42. Spieth, Morikawa, and Cameron Smith at 10:54. So just some guys that are going to be teeing off second rounds early in the morning that can benefit from a late Thursday night heavy rain. Okay, before we get to our questions, real quick LPGA update. Christina, go.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you so much for giving me the chance to talk about the women, because we need to talk more about women's golf. But last week was a great week for women's golf. If you were lucky enough to watch it, the ANA Inspiration is the first major of the LPGA Tour season. We had an incredible winner. It was Patty Tavatanich. She's a 21-year-old second-year rookie on the, out of UCLA. Go Bruins. She held her nerve together to hold off Lydia Ko to win her first major. She won wire to wire by 2 strokes. And during her play, watching her, she honestly had no idea that Lydia Ko was literally surging up on the, up the leaderboard ahead of her. Ko, as you know, she's won 15 LPGA Tour events. She's been in a drought similar to Spieth. We're looking for her to win. She tied the course record set by Lorena Ochoa back in 2016. She shot 10 under 62, but unfortunately it wasn't enough for her to win. But what an impressive play by Tavatanich. It's the first rookie in 50 years to actually win the ANA Inspiration as her first win. Julie Inkster won it as a rookie, but back in '84, but she actually had already a win under her belt when she did win it. But what an incredible tournament it was. And, I just think there's so many great players, women golfers that are out there right now. The field is so talented. And I just think that if you can just tune into the ladies and watch this, I think Patty is going to be honestly one of the game's newest superstars. I know everyone says that. We said it about Spieth. We say it on the PGA Tour every time we're talking about Morikawa being like the next, great thing. But there's something about Patty that is really special. She looked really comfortable. She looked like she belonged out there. She looks like she has been on tour for years. So I do believe we're going to see her be a big name. But it was great to see Lydia Ko back. The ladies are, they're going to be off this week, so you can't tune in to watch them, but they will return on April 14th for the Lotte Championship, which is in Hawaii. Brooke Henderson will be in the field to go for a three-peat to see if she can win this and defend her second title over there. And again, like I said, tune into these ladies. If you're not watching the LPGA Tour, you're missing out on some incredible golf.
Christina, thank you so much. Always appreciate you, and I love your passion for the LPGA Tour. It's really fantastic. All right, guys, let's end with some questions. Let's bring in Brett, our heart and soul of PFN 365. What's up, dude? Who do we got?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Who do we got? What are the questions?
First question comes from audience member BMed111. He is watching us on Twitter. He would like to know, what is each of yours prediction for a final winning score? I think I heard John earlier say 10 or 11 under is going to win it. Yeah. So I'm gonna enhance this question a little bit. Give me your final score and who's shooting it. Go.
I'll go first. Sung J M, 11 under par. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all we have to do to get rid of him. Wow. I would have asked that question to open the show.
Christina, JT, what does he score?
Nice.
I think he's gonna. I think JT is gonna be. I think it's 8 under. I think we're gonna see 8 under. Actually, you know what? Not to cut this off, but Shockley had a really funny quote. I don't know if you caught this, but his quote when he talked about the Masters, he said, "My dream is to 4-putt the final green for the win," and I just thought that was funny when he said that.
That's great.
It's easy to do. I'm going DeChambeau, and that's what I was going to say, 8 under. Again, everything that I'm hearing is that the good old boys down there in Augusta, Georgia, were like, "Oh, hell to the no, 20 under, not going to happen again." And they have made this course and those greens as difficult as U.S. Open greens. So I'm looking at 8 under.
8 under. Who's shooting it? Who do you have? Bryson again?
I have Bryce. I have DeChambeau. Which everybody thinks is going to wet the bed. So I don't know why I picked him then.
Our before we get to our next question, we do have a wonderful comment from another Twitter viewer, Mikey Old 5550 says, "Another great show, great insight. Mike was worth the fucking wait. Good luck with your picks. Go JT." I had to emphasize that.
Yeah,
word
Mike. I mean, Mike is.
Right.
We need to have Mike on every week. John, can you make that happen?
Yeah,
Mike was good.
Yeah, if we get a better cell phone or internet connection.
He's helping with
once he jumped on the computer, man.
His email, I think his email is like CompuServe or something like that.
it was at AOL.com.
It's like, hello, you have a mail.
It's at Netscape.
Our next question is in regards to Scotty Scheffler. This is someone who is seen as sort of an underdog or a sleeper pick. The question is, what do you think? Do you think he's in line for a top 5 finish at this week's tournament? Remember, back in November, he shot par or better in all 4 rounds here at Augusta. Is Scheffler capable of pushing for the top of the leaderboard?
John, this is you.
Yeah, listen, I think the one thing that's impressed me most about Scotty Scheffler is just avoiding like the sophomore slump this year. He's had a great season already, finished second at the WGC match play, as we know, a couple of weeks ago. I think playing in November and kind of getting all those butterflies out of the way and playing well, I think he's going to be ready to go. I think he's going to be a very positive person. I think he's going to come out and take full advantage when he can, and I look for great things with Scotty.
Okay.
Good question.
Before we go to the next question, just another comment from a friend of the show, Christine Anderson. I'm not even going to try the third one in there. But Anita, I know you know her. But she says, "Love you guys. Fun show." This is a fun show. So I'm glad people are certainly getting their love of it. The next question is, who is the now, John, we know your answer for this, but who do you guys have as your sleeper pick of the international players? John, I think you're going with him, right? I think that's been your.
Well, yeah, I've got him to win. That's for sure. As far as a sleeper pick,
I know guys like Cameron Smith, guys like who are we liking as our favorite?
Hold on, I'm gonna call up. You guys continue. I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna call up the odds and just so we can kind of.
My sleeper is from an international perspective is just going to be Paul Casey. I always feel like he's around the leaderboard. He kind of hangs around there. I don't see him being a winner, but I definitely see him in contention and at least going into the weekend.
All right, so here we go. Here, let's just have some fun with this. I pulled up the odds for this. Top English player, Paul Casey, plus 350. Matthew Fitzpatrick, 4-1. Hatton, plus 450. Lee Westwood, plus 5-1. Fleetwood, plus 550. So John, you take Casey over Fitzpatrick, Hatton, and Westwood?
Yes, I would, and I did.
Okay. Cameron Smith, top Australian player at plus 175 over Jason Day and Adam Scott. You guys down with that?
Yeah.
Christina, no, you're not on the Jason Day train anymore, huh?
Listen, I had to have come to Jesus with myself over Jason Day.
Can I ask you guys a question? Does it pique your interest that like a guy like Victor Hovland is not mentioned amongst those names? Or
Well, wait, I'm not there yet.
oh, shut up!
Here we
See,
go.
This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is how she treats me when we're not on.
Papa. Here we go. Papa. Okay, here we go. Top Spanish player. Now, John Rahm is favored, Mr. New Baby Daddy over here, minus 250. But how about Sergio Garcia, 2-1?
Interesting. He's won it before. Yeah, it's good on. Yeah, it's interesting.
Top South African player, Louis O or Christian. Christian.
Louis.
Do you know how to pronounce his last name?
No.
Because that's the best. That's the best.
Can you pronounce Louis' last name either?
Bezudunhut.
Gesundheit.
Exactly.
Bazudinhout.
So I don't know if you guys, John or Christina, I know, Anita, though, that you are familiar with the Michael K. Show on 98.7 ESPN New York. And Peter Rosenberg Michael K. butchered Louis' name.
Oh,
it's like part of the open to their show now every single day.
Oh,
that's great.
It's a tough one. It is hard for a lot of people.
I'm just looking, and Mexico, top Mexican player, answer minus 175. Carlos Ortiz plus 130.
Okay.
So are those odds predicated on just amongst the Mexican players? It's not.
Yeah, it's like top.
Odds. Okay.
No, it's top Mexican player, top. How about this? Whoa. We just heard from Mike. Mike said that he thinks Rory's going to shit the bed, right? Rory, top Irish player, minus 295. Shane Lowry, 2-1.
I like that.
Oh, I'm taking
that.
I would take that. Yeah. What
Excuse my ignorance on these betting questions, by the way.
I'm putting money on that right now.
Yeah, I would too. Hey, what's going on in Canada? Where's Corey Connors in there? He's
Canada. Corey Connors, minus 175. Mackenzie Hughes, 2-1.
Okay.
It's just a lot of juice.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
By the way, Anita sends me a lot of like betting stuff, like giving me some good tips, some good advice, and it's like she knows I live in New York and that I can't do anything with it.
You know what you do?
Like she's like,
get in your car and come over here to the better.
I haven't gotten any invites to Hoboken, so I'm not sure.
To the better state.
I'm just saying.
That has legalized gambling.
Just throwing. Apparently, actually, New York legalized mobile sports betting today.
When?
What I know.
When?
I don't. Who knows?
When does it start? Please tell me.
Sounds to me like you guys are a couple of bookies.
There's always that route, Brett.
All right, we got one or two more, and then
dose more.
Okay.
This next one is a question. It is, what is the biggest story of this year's Masters to you? And I'm going to give you two choices to pick from. Is it A, Rory McIlroy, given the fact that 10 years ago he stood on the 10th tee at Augusta in the lead and hooked his drive very far to the left, and it's not really been great for him since at this course. Since then, or is it choice two, Jordan Spieth, if he were to win, following his win at the Valero Open? Which is the bigger storyline that you're keeping track of, Rory or Spieth?
I think the biggest storyline right now is Spieth, especially after him winning Valero. I think he is one of the biggest storylines. I think so much is going to be discussed the next Thursday through Sunday about Jordan Spieth than anyone else.
Okay.
I think if Rory McIlroy is in the hunt in the weekend, it will be a huge story. Possibly completing the career Grand Slam.
Yep.
Huge.
I agree.
Let me ask you this.
Agree.
If both Rory and Spieth are in the hunt going into Sunday, which one is the bigger story?
Spieth. I think Spieth over Rory if it comes to that. No?
I think it's all eyes on Rory. I mean, it's almost like a Tiger-esque type thought with, he's fallen so far, and now this is the one thing he hasn't won, the one tournament he would trade it all in for, the career Grand Slam. There's only been a handful of people to ever do that. And for him to be standing on the 10th tee, possibly in contention on Sunday, major story.
No, I agree. I think that is the major story. 100%. I think getting the Grand Slam, but that's like that monkey on his back, man. Like that it's hanging over him. So I don't know if that's going to be like, yes, thank you.
I love doing the monkey.
It might be this monkey that some of these players like Phil have to get that final major, and it might be
two more quick questions before we end the show here. Number one, no mention of Bubba Watson, 2-time winner whose game is on the improve. Any thoughts on his chances into the week?
I think the field is too strong, frankly. Yeah, you're right. Bubba has been playing well of late. I just think there's, like we said before, this is one of the strongest fields we've seen at Augusta. Last year was a little weak, I would say, but sure. I mean, listen, he knows the place like the back of his hand, but too much of a strong field.
And final question of the night: it is Masters Week. It is a reprieve of sorts because the Masters returns in April when we had it in November. It's been a crazy year for all of us given the pandemic. What is your number one throughout your entire lives watching golf? What is your number one Masters moment? For me, it was when Tiger won it most recently, only because I'm a casual golf fan. I was born in an era where Jordan was on the backside, Kobe and LeBron kind of came in, and it was like I got to own Tiger Woods as my generation's greatest athlete. And it was nice to see him back on the winner's circle. But guys, you've had much more experience watching golf than I have. What is your number one Masters moment? John, take it away first.
Sure. For me, it's a really close one. I loved. For me, it's Jack in 1986 when he won as a 44-year-old. The putt where he puts his hand up and walks it in. I just have great memories of watching it with my dad. I was 10 at the time, so I really didn't know what was going on, but I remember sitting and watching it with my dad. So that's just a great moment. It kind of brought me into golf, was that tournament. So that's my Masters memory.
I would say, if I can jump in, I would say after all of the videos, all of the watching of the highlights of all of the Masters and enjoying so many special moments for all of these players at different times in their lives. I mean, these stories are incredible. Still, the number one moment that I love for the Masters is Tiger's first Masters win in 1997. There is nothing, when you just watch that story, when I watched the Tiger documentary, it just reminded me how special that win was for this kid to come out and win that tournament. And listen, I agree with you, Brett. The Tiger's win, this last win, epic. If, like I said, if his career ended on that tournament, I would sleep well at night for the rest of my life. But that first win was monumental. It was a game changer. It changed golf as we know it, as far as I'm concerned. So,
Anita,
what about the chip in by Tiger? What about the chip in? I think.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing stuff.
I mean, there's so many. Like in regard to the experience, and I've talked about it on the show before. The last time 2 years ago when Tiger won, I was sitting at Del Frisco's restaurant in Battery Park. I was sitting at the bar, and I was there with a friend of mine, and we were the only two there. By the time Tiger had turned and was on the back nine, maybe, the bar started getting a little bit more crowded. His final 4 holes, it was 10 back. There was everybody, and there were people visiting New York from Boston and all over, like Europeans that were there. And it was this huge kumbaya event where we were all rooting for Tiger because we knew like what an unbelievable comeback this was for him in regard to just life in general. And so like that experience, there wasn't a dry eye in the entire Del Frisco's in Battery Park. So like just that experience to me, to share that moment with complete strangers along with the friends I was with, was so emotionally it was overwhelming, right? So like that experience. But what Christina said in regard to Tiger, understand, it was a long time before a minority was able to play Augusta.
Exactly.
There's, I still don't like the fact that it's still called the Masters. There's so much that is great about the Masters, but the history of it is really disturbing. And for Tiger Woods to come in as a minority and at his age and to win in the style that he won, and just with it was just like, you know what? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. So I think what Christina said is pretty accurate. I think Tiger winning there for the first time and what that meant in the grand scheme of society, I think was pretty significant.
Man, I'm gonna like tear up. I'm gonna miss Tiger this week, guys.
The greatest icon in the sport launching what would become a legend there in that moment is, given all the history you just said, Anita, certainly is one of the most it's why we love sports. It's why we tune in this week especially. That is going to do it for our Q&A. Guys, if you like this show, if you've enjoyed this show, I have some really great news for you. We are launching a brand new Pro Golf Network YouTube channel where this show is going to live stream from each and every week starting next week. So go there now and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss it. As you guys know, Pro Football Network has been sort of a parent host platform for this show, and we were like, you know what, this deserves its very own golf network, and so we're going to do that at Pro Golf Network on YouTube. Go to youtube.com, search for Pro Golf Network, hit the subscribe button, mash the shit out of it, like you're Bryson DeChambeau with a driver, and then we will continue to be live streaming each and every week on that YouTube channel. Check into Anita Marks on Twitter at Anita Marks, John Mascari at JMascariPGA, and Christina Thompson at Golf for Her. They will have the links available on all of their social channels, not just Twitter, but also Facebook. Check that out. One more time, YouTube, Pro Golf Network. Subscribe now. I am Brett Yaris, and I'll see you on the other side.
Brett, thank you so much. Always so great. Guys, fun show. A lot of great information. John, thank you so much for booking Mike Adams for us. If you missed any portion of the show, obviously, as always, it will live in this digital space and you could rewind. If you missed Mike Adams, highly recommend you go back and you watch it. He gave us a ton of great nuggets that you definitely want to listen to. Guys, love you. Enjoy your egg salad sandwiches and your pimento cheese sandwiches on Saturday and Sunday. Follow us on social media. We'll be tweeting about the tournament. And everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We're here with you every Tuesday evening at 7:00. Enjoy the tournament.